Troy Kearns, real estate investor, bringing it to you from my office in Las Vegas. On today's video, we are going to talk about multifamily and storage units and which one is better, which one you should invest in, and why. The storage business and multifamily are interconnected, okay? So as houses are shrinking in size, as the market is getting smaller and smaller, people are hanging on to their stuff. So the more multifamilies that are going up, that means the more storage places that are going up. If you're investing in storage or you're investing in multifamily, it's the same type of investment, except for a mattress doesn't have an attitude. A box of people's belongings doesn't have an attitude. And when they don't pay, you just take the stuff away. So that's the best thing about storage. Let's talk about multifamilies first. We're talking about multifamily, 5 units or more, and really the big multifamilies, the 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 units and above, okay? That's what we're really talking about. We're not talking about the little stuff. This is big stuff that we're talking about when we talk about multifamily. Why? Because multifamily, just like storage, does better the more units you have. Because if you have 80 units or 500 units, you're gonna need a property manager on site. Multifamily is definitely one of the best cash flow investments overall, and it's the ones that the banks are gonna loan you the most money on, and it's one that they're gonna loan you non-recourse debt on. What does that mean? That is debt that is forgivable, meaning if you go bust, their only thing that they can come after is the property, not you, okay? So if you go bust, non-recourse means they can't come after you, they can only come after the property. Some of the big things about multifamily that you're gonna really like is, like I said, it's easy to get financing on. Everybody needs a place to live. So it's easy to rent, it's scalable, and it's easy to get financing on. In addition to that, you have a large tenant pool, you have depreciation, you have multiple income streams. That could be washer and dryers, that could be sub-metering. You could also put on-site storage on your multifamily. When you're talking about commercial real estate, it all boils down to what is the NOI. That's the net operating income. The bigger your net operating income, the more money your property is worth. There is a correlation between cap rate and NOI to determine how much money it's worth, and also how much money you make. So a cap rate is a capitalization rate, right? And the lower the cap rate is the higher the price point. So when you're comping out commercial properties, when you have a low cap rate, that generally means it's in an A+ neighborhood, it's an A+ piece of property, probably newer builds or within the last 5 years, and you have high tenants that have good leases. And the higher the cap rate means it's in a much riskier area. If you had $100,000 in NOI and you had a 5% cap rate, you would take $100,000 divided by 0.05, right? 5%, that's gonna give you a value of $2 million. If you take that $100,000 and then you divide it by a 10% cap rate, that's gonna leave you a value of $1 million. So you see, the value is determined by the cap rate. So the lower the cap rate, the more money you're gonna make. And the higher the NOI, the more money you're gonna make. To summarize, multifamily is easy to rent, easy to finance, can make a lot of money on it. Banks like it. You can get non-recourse debt on it, which means it's a great investment. So why would I want to invest in storage places, right? Why would I want to change it? Well, I'm going to tell you. Have you ever dealt with freaking tenants? It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the rear, and dealing with tenants. And if you don't like dealing with tenants, then you're definitely going to want to hear what I have to say about storage. So the average rate of return on a storage investment in today's market is between a 7 and 8% cap rate, right? So that's just across the board, right? For a typical storage building. But what is the best part about owning a storage? Well, I kind of let a little bit out in the beginning, but guess what? There's almost no maintenance in it. And remember when we talked about cap rate? Well, this is where it really gets good. You can add Penske trucking, U-Haul, you can add locks that you sell, you can sell rope, tape, whatever you want, sodas, all of that stuff can go to your NOI as a miscellaneous expense, which is gonna, guess what? Increase the value of that property. And with the storage being so easy for U-Haul and Penske and all these other operators, they want places to park their trucks, and that's gonna drive traffic to your location, and they're gonna pay you for it. That's a winner. When you're building storage, you build it in phases, right? Because when you build multifamily, you gotta build it all in one chunk because people don't wanna hear construction. But guess what? Boxes don't care about construction. If you really wanna learn more about storage, you gotta check out the Storage King video, parts 1 and 2 by Christian Ard, my partner in New Orleans, the Storage King. He's been doing storage for the last 6 years, and boy, does he have it down. And if you haven't had a chance to watch those videos, man, you're missing out. But let's get right back into storage. So storage has almost zero maintenance. When they move out, all you gotta do is bring a broom. Okay, that's it. There's almost no cost. And guess what? When they move in, nobody's complaining about a smoke alarm. Nobody's complaining about touch-up paint. Nobody's complaining about their faucet not working. There's almost nothing to maintain. Your electricity bills are low. Your cost of doing business is low. And your staffing is low. And really, once they move their crap in, that's the last time you see them until they actually come and get their crap. Then you see them one more time, and maybe they never come and get their crap. In fact, I would argue that the life expectancy of someone in a storage property is very close to that of an 18-month average on the multifamily. Because I wouldn't actually think this would happen, but regardless if the economy is up or down, storage is not affected. Because 10% of the US population uses storage. There are over 50,000 storage facilities in the US. It's a $220 billion industry. 80% of that is mom and pop owners, and the other 20% is multinational corporations. The average span of somebody in storage is between 1 and 3 years. And if you know multifamily is 18 months, and storage could be just as long, and you don't have to deal with anybody, I mean, it's great. Plus, you can scale. So you can start small. As that one fills up, build the next one, build the next one, build the next one, and you can rent out the parking lot and store people's cars. Guess what that does? More NOI, property's worth more. So here's my opinion. I choose, what do you want to know? What do I like best? Well, I'll tell you what, I like storage way better. So why don't I own any? That's a really good question. We should ask the Storage King. I am waiting for the right opportunity, okay? So we have looked at lots and lots of storage properties. We looked at one in Kansas City, we've looked at one in Mississippi, but you know what? I am waiting for the right opportunity. And what I do know about storage is you need at least 60 to 70 to 80 to 90. The bigger the square footage, the bigger the traffic count, the better, okay? So me personally, I like storage, but I don't own any. Maybe that's why I like it. The grass is always greener on the other side. But what I own, what my feet are doing, is I buy multifamily. It's what I know, it's what I understand, and it's what I invest in. So I invest in what I know, but I definitely am gonna get to know storage, and I think you should too. And definitely, from watching Chris, he bought a property for $2 million that's now worth $9 million. And all they did was fill it up slowly, methodically, and easily. Now that is one major difference between storage and multifamily. Multifamily fills up like that. Storage is gonna take a long time to fill up. Once it fills up, your attrition rate is just gonna stay the same, and it's gonna stay full. Even though I prefer storage, I also like multifamily. I think they're both great investments, and if you can marry the two and put storage on site in multifamily, boy, do you have a winner. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you comment below. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.